Good?
Yeah.
Okay.
You ready?
It's like that seal, right?
What seal?
The seal from SeaWorld.
Oh, yeah.
Love you.
Love you.
Hi,
Hi.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jill.
And we're Hipstrings. Hey, we did it right that time.
I know. It's amazing. It's like we've done this more than once.
Yeah, 7 times. Or 6 times. This is the 7th time.
Yes.
Welcome to episode 7. And it is July 26th.
2017.
2017, yeah. I guess there's more than one July 26th in this history of the world.
We could confuse people from the future.
Or the past.
Maybe.
This episode's called The Itch. Why is it called The Itch?
Because sevens.
Oh. Okay. I thought it was going to be about SSK. You're itching to work with all that wonderful stuff that you got and the lessons you
New
had.
ideas.
Yeah. But first, you want to talk about Warp Twisted and Loopy.
Yes, because we've been up to stuff. So it's been Tour de Fleece, which is now over with. Finished on, but I still did.
And I
most of my
spun
stuff.
for one day. I failed miserably. Although
I think you spun for 2.
I know I spun for the first day.
And I think you spun for the second day.
Did I?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think you made it 2 days in a row.
That was better than last year.
Which was 1 day.
Did I even do any last year?
I think so.
Okay. I'm proud of myself then. I'll go for 3 days next year.
And I did most of my spinning in the first week and then drifted off. Because I was too excited about the hand spun.
We had SSK and everything too.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
So,
we keep on teasing about
yarns.
SSK.
So this is a 3-ply of Hill District.
A little closer. Okay.
Which is currently featured on the front page of Ravelry. Not my spinning. Somebody else is spinning.
Yeah, do you remember the name?
Threadbender.
Okay. You got a great memory.
I do.
Yeah. Thank you, Threadbender. That was awesome, and we were
Gorgeous.
both kind of giddy about it getting up there on the front page. So
I spun this from the fold and then chain plied it for craziness. It is going to become a hat. Hopefully it'll become a hat that I designed and that I can remember how I designed it. We have a collaborative FO.
This is Pressed Flowers, and I did the spinning. This is one of the flax blends. And if you recall, in episode 1 or 2, I showed off the single, and then I got busy with other things, and Jill decided to go ahead and ply it for me.
At midnight, the night before the marketplace at SSK.
Yeah, because we wanted to show off what it looked like spun.
It still needs to get washed.
Yeah, but it's still very pretty, and it's soft. I'm always shocked at how soft flax blends can be.
You expect something different?
Well, I always think of flax like hemp, right? That's what comes to mind when I think of flax.
It's not like that
but
at all.
It's not. It looks like it, but it doesn't feel like it.
And it just gets better.
Yeah. All right.
And then I've got my cowl that I have on.
Oh, and you're just going to completely mess up the mic, but we have to do this. Sorry for the... Oh, gosh. There we go.
So if you look back, I don't know if they can see this.
They'll see it, I think.
Now we'll put a picture.
Yeah.
So the color box is our new box. We released it at SK, and it will be in shop update this Friday, hopefully.
And it's spelled the British way.
Because we needed 6 letters in the word
Yeah.
for the colors. So it comes with 6 colors, 6 blends. It's a merino tussa flax mulberry silk blend, which I think is wonderful to spin.
But Jill, that looks like more than 6 colors.
And it indeed does have more than 6 colors. So the deal is that all the fiber that's in there are shades of red, shades of yellow, and shades of blue, and some neutrals. And then we do blending to get everything in between. So it starts red, and then goes to red-orange, then yellow-orange, then yellow-green, then green, then blue, then blurple. Yes, that's a word. then red, purple, and then back to red.
Yeah, and so this was a really cool thing that you ended up doing, where this was a single yarn, right? This was not multiple individual skeins that were then joined together. No, this was spun up in that sequence and made a single yarn, and then Jill was able to make it into a tube that you kitchenered back
Yes.
together, right? Which I don't even want to know how fun that was.
In the lobby at SSK.
So the color box not only comes with the 6 fibers, which again, like Jill said, only have red.
Primaries.
They only have primaries and primary dyed fiber.
Yeah.
And it's just all through. What's the term you used?
Optical blending.
Optical blending. And then you can do your own optical blending to get the other 6 colors out of it.
Yeah.
The instructions. There are instructions on how to do that in the color box. This is fantastic.
So I had fun. I did the blending for this because I didn't have my hackle. I talked about this before. I blended this on combs because each color is half an ounce of fiber, and you can fit half an ounce of fiber on a set of combs and just spin directly from the combs, as long as nobody's going to anger you. And
they are like Wolverine claws, aren't they?
they are dangerous. Do not approach somebody and make them upset when they are handling combs.
Yeah.
You will regret it.
So yeah, that color box is came out a lot cooler than I expected. So I'm really impressed. And
Now I have to spin up the 2-ply version, which should have more color blending. Okay, and then stuff we're working on.
oh right, so a while ago I showed you one sleeve, and now I'm almost to 2 sleeves. I've got like 30 more stitches or 30 more rows to go, so I'm almost there. And this is remarkably warm
You
already.
may have a sweater by Rainback.
That's the plan. I hope I can also get at least part of Gab's done, and we can do that as a tag team process.
Yeah.
Tag team knitting.
So I've seen
that's love, right?
That is. Well,
Being
I've
able
seen
to
it,
trust-
discussed in Facebook groups about whether or not you can pick up somebody else's knitting and finish it or work on it. And my answer has been, yeah. My
If your
husband
gauge
and I
matches.
have the same basic gauge on the same needles. And we've actually worked on each other's knitting before, and you can't notice it. So
I still get nervous picking up your stuff and knitting on it. Yeah.
it's okay.
What's your work in progress?
So I am working on another distillation cowl, which we published the pattern's now published on Ravelry. And you'll get a free copy of it if you buy one of our distillation cowl kits, or if you buy the fiber you need to do one, and just in a single purchase, I'll automatically gift you the pattern. So this is the blue heron one, and I'm 4 colors in, so just 2 more to go.
This is a lot more muted in color, a lot more conservative,
Yes.
but still really cool.
Yes. And I'm about to order a whole bunch of fiber so that you can do this with most of our merino blends that have 6 colors of merino in them.
Yeah.
And then I've been doing some spinning. It's been helping with my re-entry from SSK. So this is a first bobbin of a yarn shine bat in the plum pumpkin colorway, and I have another bat that will go on another bobbin. It's for a 2-ply, and then it will just be lovely yarn that sits in my stash.
You showed that off on your Instagram, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not
I love
often
her
that we
stuff.
talk about stuff that isn't ours, so why don't you talk a little bit more?
Well, so Yarn Shine Denise, she just does a fabulous job of fiber prep, and her stuff is always a dream to work with. I've spun up one of her galaxy bats and now this pumpkin, so this is my second yarn shine projects, so they're always a special treat for me. You know, when you really need something to brighten up your day.
So, all right, we've teased enough.
Okay.
SSK.
Yeah. So last week and weekend we were at the Super Summer Knit Together, put together on by the fabulous knit girls, Leslie and Laura.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. So I got to attend the retreat.
And I got to take care of the kids,
Yeah.
which was fun in its own right.
So I took 2 classes. I took one class by Lee Meredith, who I really wish I could understand how her brain works. And I was not quite caffeinated enough when class started. So I took her class on her triang shawl. So this is a shawl. It's kind of a modular knitting. You use whatever yarn you want, whatever gauge. You cast on 2 stitches.
I like this already.
You cast on 2 stitches. You never have to pick up any stitches. And you don't bind off any stitches. And it goes in like 3 different directions. And yeah, it's magic. So
Did you make one, or?
I made a tiny one that is
Okay.
big enough to fit around Gab's head as like a headband. So
Oh, cool.
I need to add a button to it, and then it's hers.
Nice.
But I want to make a full-size one. I just have to figure out how to fit it in my knitting queue right now. 'Cause right now I want to cast on all the things. Because a local designer, Sarah Jordan, just published a pattern for a shawl that one of the samples she knit with some hand spun from Legend of Squee. And I got to see it in person at SSK, and it is gorgeous. And that just published this week, and so I really want to cast on one of those. But then I've got all the Rhinebeck sweaters to work on, and this cowl to finish, and socks for you.
Oh, don't worry about my socks.
Oh, don't worry, they're not good. I've already taken care of that.
You've already put that on the back burner.
Yeah. So, but I really want to cast on a triang, and I'm trying to figure out what yarn it wants.
You could always live vicariously through me and teach me how to do it.
Yeah.
Of course, I got to finish my sweater first.
You have to finish your sweater first. You don't
Yeah,
get
yeah.
any new projects until you finish the sweater.
I am not very good at working on projects in parallel. I do admit
Yeah.
that. Grabbing the wrong end of my yarn here.
So yeah, it just uses.
All right, move on. Next, there's so many things to
there's
talk
so
about.
many
I got to
things to
keep you
talk
on
about.
task.
Yes. And then I also got to take a class with Jillian Moreno, her kaleidoscope spinning class, which is playing with color in singles, which is something I've really been interested in lately. I have not been the world's best single spinner, but now after her class and my class with Amy King at Flyaway, now I feel like I can confidently spin singles.
And
that
what we
I'm
mean
happy
by
with.
singles is things where the finished yarn is a single, not the singles you end up plying.
Right. But low twist singles, which are not my usual thing. But I brought the new S17, our decorated one, and that helped because it was a new wheel and it has lower ratios to start with. And so I was able to break out of my default spinning. So it just may be that my default with that wheel is low twist singles. But it was fun to play with color and in all sorts of different ways. And I got all sorts of new ideas for yarns I want to spin. So in addition to the bajillion shawls I need to cast on, I also need to spin like a couple pounds of fiber. So, and then I happily found out that Jillian is coming to the Pittsburgh area at the beginning of November. She's being hosted by the Butler Spinning and Weavers Guild, and teaching a weekend full of classes. And so I get to take the class that, hopefully, I'll get to take the class I didn't get to take at SSK, which is her Bats in the Belfry class. So that was amazing. And I taught 2 breakout sessions, one on support spindling and one on cotton spindling, and made some new support spindlers and some new cotton spindlers.
it was weird because when we had the booth, you know, I knew you had done the demonstrations, but I'm so used to people coming in and being like, they're looking at the spindles and like, I don't know what this is. And so I go and I say, hey, you want to get a demonstration? And nearly everybody said, oh no, your wife taught me. I know what I want. I just need to figure out which design. So that made my job a bit easier there.
Yeah. The setup was so nice for SSK.
Yeah. Oh, so I guess, yeah, since we're talking about Marketplace now, we can put up a picture of what our booth looked like. And you don't get to see everything close up. On the left side, we had...
buoy mini skeins and the distillation cowl kits.
Yeah, which I don't think you can even see in the picture.
No.
But as you're moving around then we had our buoy and our sabbatical hand-dyed yarn. Then going along the back, we had this new setup where we had the custom blends hanging above some bins where they had some extra. Then moving to the right, we had a shelf, which is not seen in this picture, but the shelf had all of our boxes and luxuries.
And buoy fiber.
Yeah. And then you can see our collection of spindles that we chugged out a bunch.
Our other tools and notions.
Yep. And that special pearl blend that you made for
which I have a little
SSK.
bit left over, and it should be in the shop on Friday night.
And it's a double pun because it's like pearl, like purling. But it's also with pearl fiber, pearl viscose, right? It's what did you say?
And it's in Laura's favorite colors, and Pearl's the name of her dog.
Oh, it's a triple pun.
I did a really good one this
Triple
time.
entendre.
Yeah.
So
yes, you joined me Friday night to help set up the booth.
Yep. And oh dear God, it was so hot.
It was so.
I think I'm still sweating from last week.
I grew up in Florida, so those temperatures should not bother me so much, but I've been living where those temperatures don't really happen anymore.
Yeah.
I was not ready for upper 90s in humidity.
It hit 100.
Yeah.
And then we had to work inside of, the trailer, pulling stuff out inside of a big metal box in 100-degree weather. That was fun.
Yeah.
But
we got it done.
We did, and it was not that bad. It was actually we're starting to refine the process, but we weren't obviously the only ones there. There was so many cool vendors at SSK.
Yeah.
You got a bunch of cool things to talk about, but
Yes.
I think I spent most of my time talking to Aiden from Ackerworks. We are definitely. I think I found a new best friend because he's got the same tech background plus fiber interest that I have, and it's not very common to get such interesting mesh. Plus, he's a guy. I guess there's some added factor to that, but I don't know.
Brotherhood in the fiber arts.
The brotherhood in the fiber arts. Maybe we need to start a podcast like that. But you ended up picking up two things from Ackerworks, right?
So, we actually got a third thing, but I forgot to bring it down.
Oh, yeah.
So I picked up one of their modular drop spindles. And as you can see, I've already put some fiber on it. And I love it. I wish it was a little bit heavier, so I'm tempted to get another one, which is saying something because I don't usually drop spindle. And this makes me want to drop spindle because I'm not worried about hurting it, unlike my Bosworth and my Golding.
So let's explain a little bit for those that are not familiar with Ackerworks, although really you should be at this point.
Yeah. So they started out with doing 3D printed flat pack bobbins, and they've now moved on to spindles and lazy Kates and all sorts of other goodies. So this is a build your own spindle. So you pick out the whirl and you pick out your shaft.
So you can pick different shaft lengths and stuff. And the whirl itself, they've got different colors and different designs, different sizes, different weights.
They're all rim weighted.
Yep. And he was doing a great demo because he actually 3D printed some at the booth. So if you, he doesn't do any other shows besides SSK, right?
Right.
But most of his stuff is custom made. But if you do get a chance to go to the shop during SSK next year, I'm sure he'll have the demo again.
Yeah.
And then we also picked up this
Swatch gauge.
the swatch gauge, which everybody's talking about this now, and for good reason. It's really cool. So it's this frosted acrylic, and it's got these teeth on it. So when you place it on your swatch, it stays in place. You don't have to worry about you have to worry about needles falling in front of it, but you don't have to worry about it moving because the teeth are going to hold it in that spot. And it's got a ruler engraved on there, so you can just count the stitches up and down and left and right. And so it ends up, especially if you align it properly, it ends up making the job really easy. And what Aidan was mentioning was that if you have any issues with your hand dexterity or holding a ruler while you're trying to keep something flat, this makes it really easy. It's almost a better ergonomic system for swatching. So it makes the unpleasant process of swatching a little bit more pleasant.
Right. So that was the goodies from Acroworks. And then I forgot to pick up a spindle crane from them because you saw that and you're like, that might get me to drop spindle.
Yeah, because we'll show a picture of it since we're trying to add pictures this time, right? So
Yeah.
we'll show a picture of it. So you can see it doesn't look like it makes sense. But
We'll have to take a video of you using it once we get some.
the way that it works, when Aidan started using it, I said, "Oh my God, that might make me drop spindle," because it sort of just hangs out in air, but you put the single hanging over through that little plastic cup there, and you drop your spindle and you spin it like you've got a spinning wheel. Right? So now you're just feeding your fiber as long as the spindle itself is going. Which, I don't know, for me, I'd always had the anxiety of it going down and down and down and then having to reach down and pick it up. And no, now you're just drafting backwards like you normally would with a wheel, and then you're flicking it. So it's the one thing that might actually get me to drop spindle.
So I forgot to buy one in the marketplace, but then on Saturday night at SSK, they have kind of a finishing reception, which most of the point is to get more door prizes.
Get free stuff.
So you earn tickets.
Isn't that the point of life?
Yeah.
Get free stuff.
You earn tickets throughout the retreat for having participated in like the knit along or bringing charity knitting or donating stuff for the Try It On room or Try It Out, and all sorts of things. And so and every vendor donates something to this.
And we're back. Sorry about that.
So what Acroworks had donated was a spindle crane. So I put all of my tickets in there, and I told everybody around that it was for my husband, and it was the only thing I wanted. And so when it came along, I got it. So I didn't have to order it off.
And
the
you
website.
said you never win anything.
I never win anything.
Let that be a lesson for these type of prize-winning things.
Do
if
it
you
for
have a lot
somebody
of
else.
that could be part of the lesson too. No, what I was going to say was if it's one of those where you get multiple tickets, just put all your tickets into one thing, and preferably the thing that intimidates everybody else. Well, that's how I won you the massage.
Yeah.
My work had a similar thing where I put a bunch of tickets into a massage for Jill, and I won her a free massage, which she still hasn't taken 2 years later.
I found the card today.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll have to make some time for you to go take that.
Yeah. So that was stuff we got from Acroworks. And then our booth was set up across from the Fat Squirrel, Amy Beth, who was amazing. I was so delighted to get to meet her the week. And so staring at all her bags, I was like, resistance is futile. One will come home with me. I was about to get another one, but then I just fell in love with the colors for this one.
And it's got a unicorn. or multiple unicorns.
And mermaids. And birds.
Is mermaids going to be
everything.
our next set? Because we have some birds already. Do we need to get a mermaid set?
Mermaids would be a lovely collection. So, actually Monday when I got home, I took the bag out and designed a blend inspired by this bag. So it will be in the shop in like 6 weeks, hopefully, if it turns out. These are kind of tricky colors to work with for a fiber blend. There's a high chance of mud if I don't do it properly. So hopefully it'll work out. But another lovely fat squirrel bag, because this is my other fat squirrel bag, which is one of her Charlie Harper bags. And then I got some bats from Hobbity Hoy, another fantastic person I got to meet and chat with during the retreat. And I'd like to confirm that these will not harm me. So.
And you mean by your
My
dye
dye
allergy?
allergies. So. I've spun up one of her art bats before, and it became a lovely basket that I adore. And then I got some wool wash soap from Tuft Woolens. Their sock soap. So I'm interested to see how using a hard, soap for washing woolens goes.
They were right next to us, and their booth smelled amazing.
Yeah.
And everybody commented on that. It was like, it's probably the only reason that the place didn't stink up to high heaven with everybody sweating, right?
So, and then I also picked up some yarn for Gab from Fiber Seed, which she has squirreled away and is finger knitting with, because she finished the skein of yarn that she brought for the trip by finger knitting. And I'll have to show next episode what she did with that, and then what I did with it.
When you get Gab back to talk more about her
fiber. Well, yeah, she's really been doing a lot lately.
Well, she was she was upset today because.
Poor girl.
Should we mention this?
Yeah.
So our source for Unicorn Magic has stopped supplying the extremely bright pink that's used in Unicorn Magic. So
in the superfine merino.
In the superfine merino, but we want to keep it as nice
soft
and fluffy,
and fluffy as it has been.
So Unicorn Magic will be no more. What's in the shop right now is all that there will ever be, unless they decide to change it. So we are, with the tentative name, revising it to Unicorn Alchemy. And it's going
Unicorn Magic version 2.
Oh, Unicorn Magic version. That was Gab's preferred name.
That was Gab's preferred
name. Well, it is
name.
Gab's design, so maybe it goes with that name. Post in the comments which one you like better. Maybe we can convince her differently. But it is going to basically be Unicorn Magic, but with a slightly paler pink.
Yeah.
Almost as good, but not quite. Unicorns were the runaway hit of the show, though.
They were.
We had people coming and saying, "Hey, we heard you have unicorns." We even had a little girl who was there with her mother that.
Yes. And she spent all day trying to figure out which unicorn she wanted to take home with her. She must have stopped by the booth like 3 or 4 times before she finally made a decision.
What did she get in the end?
I think she got the last braid of Unicorn Seek Soulmate.
Nice. That will come back, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else? I mean, it was a great experience. I highly recommend anybody. Hopefully, I'll be able to attend the retreat. The kids will be old enough that I can leave them with the grandparents and actually enjoy the retreat with everybody else. And if you guys get a chance to go, I strongly recommend it. It was.
Or even check out the marketplace if you're within
the marketplace alone was worth it.
SSK, because the marketplace is open to the public.
Yeah.
So that was SSK. It was awesome.
Yeah.
We hope to be back next year.
Well, I think unless they kick us out, we will be. So in the studio, This is now last chance for any knit and spin applications. We're closing them at the end of the month. There's still plenty of room right now, and we are...
we're closing up. We don't have much space left.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. What I will say is that we will be leaving the applications for the pop shop or pop-up shop
Yeah, and we're
for
going to be
longer.
changing that a little bit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. We're getting some feedback. If you were kind of interested in the pop-up shop but didn't like the price or didn't like the setup, let us know.
Since it's something new, we want to figure out something that works for the people who would use it.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've had some people who've had interest, and they were going to get back to us and let us know what they think. So get your applications in. It's a really simple form to fill out. If you want to just let me know that you have to apply, but don't have the photos or something like that, just fill in the form and we'll go from there.
So, Any Knit and Spin will be November 11th, 2017 at the Wilkins School Community Center in the Regent Square neighborhood of Pittsburgh.
Same bat time, same
Yeah.
bat channel.
Yep.
Yeah. And then we've got an open studio coming up, right?
Yes, up on August 4th. And I got to be in my bonnet today, and we rearranged the studio again.
Yeah. It looks a little bit different. We're trying to make some more room for all the extra
More
stuff,
goodies.
make it a little bit more comfortable for more people to come in, since we've filled up now a couple of times of people visiting on Thursdays. So yeah, swing by. Please keep coming. We'll make more room for you. And you have a trunk show coming, right?
Yes, so I'm going to be coming along with some of our goodies. I think I'm definitely going to be bringing our yarns. So Ivory Tower
Gotta
and
see, where are you
Bowie
going?
and Sabbatical. I'm going to Clover Hill, which is a fabulous yarn shop in Catonsville, Maryland, just outside of Baltimore. It is also the home of Tempting You yarns. That's their kind of in-house dyed yarns. And it's a fabulous shop, and if you haven't been there and you're in the Maryland area, you should go. And if you do go, or you've been there before, you should come again to see the trunk show.
Yeah.
So we'll be bringing our hand-dyed yarns, so Ivory Tower, Bowie, and Sabbatical, and a smattering of fiber, as well as our tools and spindles and all that stuff.
Yeah. It'll only be you. I won't
It'll
be there.
just be me.
Um,
I'll be arriving Friday for the Friday night spinning group, and then me and all the goodies will be leaving Sunday afternoon.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. You need to remember to bring me some of that laser tag from.
Oh yeah, that's right. They
Tempting You.
donated a whole bunch of yarn for SSK, and there are some colorways we need to see about picking up. I also want their Banksy colorway.
Yeah.
It's really good. And then we're gonna try to have a shop update Friday, so hopefully that will be after this podcast posts.
Hey now. That's fair though. I was going to make the same joke.
So we have a little bit of leftovers of our SSK colorway pearl. That particular blend or color of it will not be returning, but a new one will be.
Different color.
Different color. Same fiber makeup. Hopefully we'll also get the color boxes up. Those will be $25. They're 6 ounces of merino tussa mulberry silk
And
with the instructions.
they're beautiful colors on their own. It's actually a pretty good price for just the colors. But then you get the added instructions. I really like
I will
this.
probably be putting the individual colors up too. So if you want to buy the color to do your own blending or gradients, you can do it.
I really like this concept of the spinning patterns, because I mean, you get spinning instructions in books, but I've never really seen any spinning patterns.
Or it's just simply spin to this weight. Ta-da. Not like, here's the wraps per inch you need to aim for while you're spinning, what spinning method you should use, going into all the details to get a yarn that is going to be what it's supposed to be. for its intended purpose. Also going to try to have the distillation kit. So I have hand-dyed yarn kits in our ivory tower base, which is superfine merino and baby camel. It is decadent.
It's the same stuff we showed off last time, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So there's 2 colorways for that. There's the Peacocky and then there's Nightmare. And then we do have some spindles left over from SSK, and we'll be posting those. And there is also a huge pile of other stuff to be photographed. We'll see if that makes it up into the shop.
Well, our lighting is telling us that it's time to go, I guess.
It is.
So thank you very
now
much.
Being all dark and mysterious.
Thank you very much for everybody who's come by the booth. Thank you to everybody who came by the shop.
Everybody who met us for the first time at SSK.
Everybody who met us for the second or third time as well.
Yes.
I guess we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.